Another stimulus plan is coming out. When is this going to slow down? You can't just continue to print money time and time again. Let's dive into this $1.9 trillion stimulus plan that Biden plans to implement. This is Austin Rutherford, where we talk business, finance, and real estate. To put into perspective how much money $1.9 trillion is, in 2009 when we had the bailout, it was about $900 billion, about half of what we're doing right now. And on top of this 1.9, there's already been about a $2 trillion bailout in March, and about a $900 billion bailout in December of 2020. And now I guess there's another one coming when Biden gets into office. So ever since Corona started back in early 2020, I feel like everybody's just kind of been sitting there with a handout, just asking for something. And I do get it, I understand. The government shut down businesses, they shut down restaurants, all those things, which eliminated a lot of positions where people didn't have jobs. So I do understand that. And there's definitely got to be a middle ground somewhere in between. But like, people are still hiring. There's still jobs to be had. You can't just sit down in your house all day. Like, I know for a fact there's jobs because we just hired two. We hired 2 new positions in the middle of COVID. So there are opportunities, but like I said, I do understand that some people do truly need help at these times. But that's the problem with bailouts. Unfortunately, there's no way to figure out how to just help the people that actually need help. And there's so much lying and stealing that happens. When they issued the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, there's hundreds of millions of dollars of money that was given out to people that lied. They just straight up lied, said they had employees that they didn't have just to take money for themselves. So that's the struggle with bailouts. Like, there's no way of knowing if something's actually helping the right people or if it's going to the wrong people. Now, the thing with Biden's new plan, it's not like he gets into office day one and this goes into effect. Like, it has to go through the process. People actually have to vote on this and actually implement it. So there's still definitely some time before this actually ever goes into effect. So one of Biden's first plans is to get more money back into households. He wants to send out another $1,400 check. There was just a $600 check that was sent out. He wants to add another $1,400 additionally on top of that. Again, the problem with this is we don't know if the people that are receiving this money is actually using it for the right thing. You know, I know people that got that money and went out and bought a new Gucci bag. I know people who got that money and then used it for rent payments. So the problem with it is that you can give people money, but it's the saying they say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. You can give people money to cover their bills. That doesn't mean they're actually going to use it to cover their bills. Now, Biden also wants to add $400 a week to unemployment. I don't know about you, but I have thoughts on this, which I'll dive into here in a second, but comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. And while you're down there, hit that like button and that subscribe button so you can get all this content going forward. The problem with this, when you're paying people that much more money for unemployment, is that it's going to be very difficult to get people back into the workforce because they're making more money sitting at home than they were actually working. You know, I've seen it. You know, I have contractors, I have cleaners, I have people that turn over my Airbnbs that won't come back to work because they're getting paid more money to sit at home rather than actually going out to work. And you know, the argument here is that, well, there's no jobs for me to go and work, so I need the extra money. Again, I know for a fact that's false because I'm hiring people. We just hired people, and I know other people that are hiring people. There's opportunity out there still. Another thing Biden wants to do is to increase the minimum wage to $15 an hour. If this happens, let me tell you, unemployment is going to go through the roof. Robots are taking over everything we're talking about. You know, if you go to a fast food restaurant, there's a lot of places now where you order from the push of a button rather than talking to somebody. There's vehicles out there, like Tesla, like other places, that are creating self-driving semi-trucks to drive cargo back and forth rather than actually having a person, a human, do the work. So robots are already taking over a lot, and if this happens, all it's gonna do is speed up that process. Business owners cannot afford to double the payroll. It can't afford, they will go bankrupt. And I know, I hear the argument already. Well, people can't live on minimum wage because inflation keeps going up and minimum wage doesn't go up. I get that, but minimum wage was not meant to be a job that somebody has for 50 years for their entire life. Minimum wage jobs are supposed to be used as stepping stones to get up into the future, to make some money and then to build into something else. I was there. I was making $3.50 an hour valeting cars. I get it. I've been there. I've done that before. But you have to learn a skill to get out of that. You know, if all you do is work the minimum wage job for the rest of your life, you're gonna struggle. But if you learn a skill, if you take action to learn something like trading stocks, like selling insurance, like wholesaling, like real estate, like rental properties, like any of these things that you can make a lot of money doing, if you don't learn those things, you're gonna be stuck in that minimum wage job. My fear, if something like this happens, is the amount of layoffs that are gonna happen. It's not gonna happen like immediately, because people need the workforce, right? Business owners need the workforce. But as soon as that gets implemented, business owners immediately are gonna be looking for second options. And as quickly as they find those second options, the layoffs will be following there right after. Another one of Biden's plans is to give more money back to municipalities and schools. Now, I agree with this. You know, there's a lot of kids sitting at home right now not learning. There's a lot of kids that have never logged into a classroom since schools released kids to work from home. Some students just don't have internet at home. Other students, their parents don't care. Kids don't know any better, so they don't care. So it's a downward spiral right now. We got to get children back into school, whether that's reopening the schools or putting learning centers in place where kids that don't have the ability to work, whether that's internet, whether that's parents, whether that's workbooks, whatever it is, that don't have the ability to be able to go to these learning centers to be able to actually continue learning. With all this money that's being printed, it's starting to get very worrisome for me. We're built as a country for freedom. Freedom is what we were built on. But as all this money keeps getting printed, we're starting to rely more heavily on the government. The government is not where everybody should be turning to. You know, it's a free country. The more we rely on them, the more power that they have over the people. And for the government to sanction everybody to close business, to shut down, to close shop, I don't personally believe that they should have the right to do that because, again, we are a free country. People have the option to either go out or stay in. You know, if restaurants want to be open, if coffee shops want to be open, people have that option to either go out there and eat or stay at home and cook. It's an option of the people. That's what a free world is called. So again, I get it. At the beginning of COVID and everything, nobody knew what was going on. Nobody had any clue. So, you know, people had to make decisions that they thought were the best for the country. But now that we have a lot of data, a lot of information, I feel like some people are still making decisions that's not for the best of the country. So again, this is a free country. That's what we were built on. And if the more we rely on the government, the quicker socialism is going to become in play here in the United States. And honestly, in my opinion, we're starting to lean pretty heavily that way. So when Biden gets into the office, like I said before, some of these things are actually going to get implemented. Some of them are not going to get implemented. They're going to get vetoed. And other things are going to get added because at the end of the day, everybody has their own agenda that they want to fulfill. And they see this as an opportunity to go and benefit their own agenda. So I don't know about you, but I'm definitely going to be paying attention to this because there's a lot of things in here, changes that could happen, that could be implemented, that could change yours and I's lifestyle. That could change how you and I live every day. So I'm paying attention. I hope you're paying attention. Scroll down and hit that subscribe button as well. So as new updates come out like this, I'll keep you updated. While you're down there, if you could hit that like button, that'd be greatly appreciated. YouTube loves the algorithm. And drop a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on some of these new things that may be rolling out here in the future. Thank you all for being here, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.